This is Barry, and I got right next to me. This is the Chill Sports Show, and today we're going to talk about the top recruiting, aren't we? Just talk recruiting class. What's gone on?
A little bit about the recruiting class. A little bit about my failed Super Bowl pick.
Well, I don't. What happened with that one, Ray?
Well, yeah, I mean the streak had to come to an end, and no better of a time to see Tom Brady not shake hands and walk off the field.
Thank God. But see his cheese-eating face. God.
It's been a little bit since the Super Bowl, but the Eagles definitely surprised me.
It was a good game.
That
was the funnest thing for me. It was a good game.
Malcolm Butler surprised me not playing in the game. That would have been nice to know before.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice it. Well, I caught like half the game. So.
Yeah, he didn't even.
Oh, that's right.
He played one play on special teams.
Special teams.
Yeah, they benched him for unknown reasons.
Yeah,
Belichick
showing, doing. I can win without you type thing that he does.
Basically, does. And not that Malcolm Butler was,
we don't know. Yeah,
Richard Sherman, but I mean, not that the Patriots didn't struggle in pass coverage as far as that goes.
Well, they were already leaking a little bit, I think.
They were.
One player.
It's just they didn't make, even when their defense has been leaky at times, like the Atlanta Super Bowl last year, they found ways, at least in the second half, to get some stops, stuff like that. And I kept waiting for that to happen because obviously they were moving the ball as well, not getting as many early points as Philly did.
Yeah.
But they were moving the ball.
Second half.
And it came down to, I thought Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady again.
Second half, boom, 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 and you weren't going to stop him. And then finally,
the Eagles were the one to make that one play.
That was impressive.
Yeah, it was, and it came from one of their linemen that they needed to
They
step
needed to do
up,
it. They needed to do it, and he did it. Yeah.
So I'm not. I don't feel bad about Belichick and them losing, but it did suck to have a Super Bowl streak snap.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, hey, now you got to look forward to the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to be good now. This is where we're going to it's time. We're going to get the next. This is going to be better than the Marino era. Because this is gonna be like the old greasy era,
the Baker Mayfield area in Miami. Because I see. Well, that's the one thing about the draft this year is
people are starting to.
Nobody knows where anybody is going to go.
People are starting to come out of the woodwork about Baker.
Well,
and I need to watch more film. This is the one kid I haven't watched much film on.
Yeah,
and usually I'm like all the young guy who can move around. And he's not the best arm, but I'm all for those kind of underdog type guys. Walk on, and they beat out what's his name, Doofus there, and. Yeah, no time.
Yeah,
what was that kid's name? He had just beat Bama in the bowl game the year before.
Well, Trevor Knight, I think, was the quarterback that he ended up going to A&M.
Yeah, but he beat him out.
Yeah, I mean he had a great career at Oklahoma, and I do know the Dolphins have had their discussions about them at 12. I don't. Everybody's saying I mean, all the quarterbacks. Nobody knows.
And no one knows. No one's there's a few pundits, especially on that. Was the guys who do all the stats and track all the things just through the pure numbers?
Oh, like the Mel Kiper guys.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but they're strictly internet. They're not on ESPN.
Okay,
but they're on the PPS or the pure sports average numbers or whatever it is they do.
Okay,
but there's one Brett dude, aside from Rob Staten, who I follow religiously because he's a Seahawk fan. And that's why he's awesome, obviously,
obviously, he doesn't know much about sports, but
he's a good guy. But no, he's a good scout. But this guy, I don't even know who he is, but he's another Brit getting into the good sport of football, and he hates most quarterbacks. He said, most quarterbacks he doesn't think deserve to go in the first round, which is right.
For the most part, a lot of busts.
You reach for a lot of people, but hopefully you sit most of them. But he is all over Mayfield's jockstrap.
Well, maybe the Dolphins will, because obviously if he does go to the Dolphins, he's not going to start next year.
No.
I mean, Tannehill's going to be back for one more
unless
year.
He blows it up in the
they have an out clause after next year where it reduces their salary cap hit on him quite a bit. So they definitely have the 1 year where he could sit. But if Gase is sold on Tannehill, then it'll be I don't know. Quentin Nelson, the lineman
who's
from
sold on Gase still? Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Gase myself. I don't know. I mean, to tell you the truth, he hasn't had an offensive line since he's been there. But Miami hasn't had an offensive line for Since Richmond, Webb, and Keith Sims were anchoring the line, it seems like,
that's a line right there,
it seems like it's been a while since Miami's had
tell them to get in line for the rest of the NFL right there with not having a line. I mean, like there's 4 teams maybe that have a decent offensive line.
So, I mean, linebacker from Georgia, linebacker from Alabama, offensive lineman, 2 different offensive linemen from Notre Dame, Baker Mayfield. I've heard it all about where the Dolphins are going to go, so I really have no idea who they're going to draft, and maybe we will as it gets closer. But I mean, I think everybody right now, there's no consensus. There's no consensus, even 1 or 2 or 3.
There's nobody. Just all over the place.
Are the Browns going to take a quarterback? Or the Browns going to say, I'm passing again on the quarterback? And
they can't. They have 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean,
these guys were talking
eventually they have to try to draft.
They were talking about take what at 1, take what at 4 also.
Yeah, maybe just take.
It'd be worth
it.
Look at all the picks. Look at all the people they've busted on.
Yeah, take the first 2. You might as well do a second rounder, third rounder, throw another flyer out there. Maybe a Rudolph, the kid from Oklahoma State, somebody out of the blue, thing. And what'll be funny is that the one that they do later on will be the one that sticks. And that's so. It'll be interesting to see what the Browns mess up, and as well as I can't just say the Browns. There's many other teams. That don't strike pay dirt, unlike teams like the Patriots that seem to find a little more diamonds in the rough than the average team.
Well, and it's fun. It's just that old taking the best player available. A lot of teams have figured out somehow, and sometimes they trade back. I can't say it's always worked for the Seahawks. I mean, like they really go for boom or bust.
Yeah.
But versus the Patriots or someone like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they always take the best player available. That's where Troy Polamalu came from.
Yep, and it's worked pretty well for this deal. I mean,
Shazar was
the Ohio State
just
kid.
Sat there and
that's sorry that he's probably not going to play football again.
Heck of a talent when he was playing. He started to come into his own when he this year. But
hopefully he can walk again and lead a normal life.
Lead it through
But
it's there are those. There are teams that are always going to reach into this. I think people are going to reach into the first round and take some quarterbacks that aren't even supposed to go there. Maybe they're third round.
There's some. I mean, there's some that said there could be like 6 or 7 kids that could go in the first round for quarterbacks.
I think that kid from Richmond probably go in the second round now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the Dolphins scooping him up and going for an offensive lineman. Now, granted, our offensive line streak of drafting linemen anywhere near not just the first round, but anywhere the top round. Jawan James.
He's a good run blocker, though.
Serviceable. He's going to get a decent free agent deal because the Dolphins are letting him walk pretty much unless he wants to come back for Phoenix.
Well, you can't. Reasonable, I guess it would be.
Yeah, but some other teams going to reach for
pipe up something more than that. Because it's just the way it is.
Yes.
That's just the way. That's the state of the offensive line right now with and poor prospects coming out really. Except for the Martin kids apparently, but.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I guess a little bit closer.
Unless they're Dallas, apparently. What the hell? It's a renaissance for Dallas's offensive line. Well, they're down a little bit this year.
Well, they drafted. So and they hit on their first runners. Yeah. They hit on the kid from Wisconsin.
They hit the center. And they hit on what's his name, Smith from USC.
Yep, they hit on him. And
Martin was pretty much just take the best player right there, and he was everyone knew he was going to be a stud.
And so their guys have panned out, but it kind of did seem like it was a little bit of a backwards.
It was down year.
I don't know if it was more the quarterback position struggling a little bit more than the year before, and it made the offensive line look. Quite as
or Zeke being out also.
Well, that certainly
Domino right there making Dak look worse, and then Dak making the offensive line look worse.
Yeah. So, and the Cowboys. So
who cares? No,
who cares about the Cowboys?
Yeah, they lose good. All right, but we're hopeful. Anyway, let's get into these college kids coming out.
Let's take a look
because obviously Purple Rain. About ready to come through again. Another 10 years of domination for Husky Nation.
Well, they had a very good,
they've had two good
class.
Yeah,
two in a row, and Peterson really seems
finally
to develop.
See what he can do with some rated talent.
Yeah, you have your quarterback next year coming back. Still for one more year.
I want to see. He regressed in my mind this last year.
A little bit.
He didn't play like he had such a fire in his ass this time. We'll see.
Yeah, well,
maybe a little too comfortable. Who knows?
Maybe the senior year will pan out a little bit more for him.
Yeah. So we got Georgia number 1, which surprise, I guess.
Well, I think Kirby Smart, I mean, it's, a lot of people wondered, is this going to be a Nick Saban assistant that's going to,
finally be the one that...
And he really has knocked it out of the park with such a solid year last year.
Yeah, surprisingly. But, run the ball, play safe, play good defense. Nick Saban, right?
Yep. And there it was, getting all the way up there and not quite getting the championship, but still had a heck of a year. And really parlayed on the recruiting part of it to, just a ton of talent in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, look at it. They did a good job of making sure they got all the kids in the area. And,
locking up their borders. That's one thing they say about Miami is trying to lock up the three counties.
Not easy.
Not
easy, especially.
Far from easy. Even Mark Rick saw that a little bit this year where they had some misses at the end. And it's hard to lock in. It's hard if a kid wants to stay home versus if a kid wants to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't, hurt as guys like, the Patrick Surtain Jr. Coming out and saying the reason that he picked Alabama was the fact that, they're winning championships. That they're the best of the best right now. And there's not even the second place, regardless of how teams like Georgia, Oklahoma, these other teams, Ohio State, you want to name these other teams, it's just not even close.
No, do you think like Surtain's a smart kid, obviously, his dad, football,
Miami Dolphins, Southern Mississippi, so he obviously didn't go to a football powerhouse.
Right. But do you think he has enough insight? Do you think that he doesn't want to say it to insult the people who, the other coaches, but he probably has the insight and enough knowledge to say, Saban, man, the program that they have there, the coaching that they have there, very few I don't like their weight programming the most, but the rest, like the receivers, the defensive backs, they are coached wonderfully.
Yeah,
they are coached.
And the defensive side of the ball certainly for them has had more hits in the NFL than the offensive side of the ball. The skill players have regressed. The running backs, especially wide receivers, kind of a mixed bag. Amari Cooper great. Then what happened to Amari Cooper this year? He didn't. Averaged about 1 point a game for me in fantasy. And that.
Sorry about that.
And he's he's a Miami guy. He should have went to Miami. Wish he would have went to Miami, but. So I mean, the track record's there. Obviously, Nick Saban is, he's
a hell of a coach.
He's the Bill Belichick of the college world. There's a reason that he's the highest paid coach in football.
Exactly,
out of any
deservedly,
coach.
Absolutely deservedly. No, there's you can't even argue right now.
No,
Meyer is great sometimes, but not. It's not the same.
At that level.
It's not the same.
It's big. It's the little brother chasing the big brother.
It is absolutely. Another thing that I'm hoping, I guess you could say that. With Saban's proteges going out to other colleges, they run generally a pro offense. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping these offensive linemen get you get more of the general pro offense type techniques taught to you
rather than the
spread. You're in the spread. You're in the back seat all the time. Ready to.
You're not being aggressive in the run game.
On the run game, you don't know technique. All you're doing is the short pass game. So it's not really sets of long. You have to hold your block for what. Second,
not very long. You're definitely not.
The ball is out instantly. So
seeing as large of a repertoire of the defensive end. Right. Maybe they're coming more with their speed rush moves versus a bull rush, which takes a little longer to try to get to the quarterback when the quarterback's getting rid of the ball so quickly. But. That is good that maybe that can happen. So maybe Nick Saban could do one good
thing help us out
instead of just keep winning championship after championship.
Help the NFL out. Help the fans out, Saban.
Maybe every get a bone thrown your way when a Clemson makes a last second upset. And so. We'll see. You
never know. But.
It's and Alabama a little bit down in the rankings from where they've been, but consensus. Regardless of rankings,
top 5.
Consensus as far as talent, consensus top 5 forever. Number 1 for a few years in a row.
So Rivals has him number 7, but I'm sure I've seen him in top 5.
I still would.
Who did they have this year? Who was their big? They only had 3 5-stars. It says so. They have that kid out of Texas, that little speedy.
The wide receiver.
Model,
Yep, I watched him a little bit in some one-on-one drills.
Yeah, quick. He's gonna be making plays right off the bat.
He's going to be very, very good. And then Surtain, of course, a 5-star.
They got this
defensive end out of Baltimore.
That Ebede and Noah.
I'm glad you did that because I'm going to try.
It's butchered.
But obviously, Bama, and it's just a plethora. Just like Clemson. Clemson's defensive line next year is just going to be absolutely loaded. In fact, they got a couple of pretty decent guys that are going to be. There are two of them in particular that are going to be grad transfers. They said Miami's really looking. I mean, what I've heard at least, because you can't say too much about that type of stuff.
But
they're only restricted from transferring to a team that's not going to play on Clemson's schedule next year. That does not include the possibility of them playing
the Huskies
the ACC championship game. So, the Huskies got their guy, or he's just not going to be the gray shirt type transfer, But Easton will have to sit out a year, but.
I'm okay with that. I would like to see that competition given to the kid.
Yeah,
but it gives him 2 years with Peterson.
Yeah, exactly.
In that program,
and not competing against the kid with Browning, the kid that they have now. Get his feet wet, get back to being home. That's
being home and just focus on football. Hopefully,
and if Georgia hadn't have had
so much talent.
That quarterback that stepped in, the freshman,
and he played great. He didn't falter.
He did.
He didn't make. You can't really blame any games on him.
And then Georgia, I think one of the commits that they had was the number one all-purpose quarterback. I believe that.
Yeah, the dual threat.
Yeah, I think his last name is Fields.
He looks nice.
Yeah, the Florida State, I know, was really
big kid.
There's a lot of
he looks
really
big. He looks like Patrick Mahomes now.
He so
6'3",
now he's in the mix.
6'3", 220, 230.
Yep.
And you watch him move around, and he moves good. He's got smarts.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I said about Carson Wentz when I was watching him is his presence. He moved like Aaron Rodgers did on the field, right?
Yes.
He had his presence.
Yes.
And when you see that, and I see that in this high school kid coming in.
Yeah. He's
wow.
He's they have great reviews about him.
Yeah, Justin Fields. Yeah,
yep.
Big kid, man.
So we'll be seeing if he can step in, because I think Kirby Smart's the type of coach where every position is open.
That's awesome. I mean that's the best way. That's the competition.
Be interested to see. I don't think Jalen Hurts sniffs the Alabama starting quarterback job next year. I think it's going to be the freshman that stepped in that has saved him the 5-star.
That kid that came through.
And one of the few Alabama recruits at the quarterback position.
That's actually
had some other high kid. I remember they had a kid from Oklahoma. They got a Norman. Obviously, I don't even know what happened to him. He didn't ever play a down there. Was there,
he
but
had
just
a big
couldn't
arm,
crack
but
it.
he just didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a few other guys that just did not pan out. And it was the John Parker Wilson.
Yeah, they've had
AJ McCarron. Who finally looks like he's gonna get out of Cincinnati. Get out of Marvin. He's probably sick of looking at Marvin Lewis.
You don't know. He played some decent ball when he was playing.
He did.
You don't know if he's going to be the next.
I'm trying to think
Case
of an
Keenan
or somebody that's going to step up and it's not going to work out.
Really.
But as long as you don't give him a giant contract, I guess that's
give him you're going to get something reasonable if he's out there on a decent market.
Yeah,
you can get like $10 million a year, but and that's not that won't burn a house down. So you can part with that.
The Jay Cutler money, the Dolphins burned up last year. But I mean, looking at the top 10, it's pretty much the same old faces. USC up there high. But,
Texas snuck in there with a lot of 4-stars. Man.
Those guys really. I mean, he's whole Herman at Texas when he left Houston and went there. I started saying, and Miami was trying to flip one of their defensive tackles, really, really hard, and we made it close, but he still went there,
D-line, D-end, D-tackle, D-end, just tons of...
Yeah.
And that's what they need to compete right now. They haven't had that. They have not had any...
No. Big 12, their conference,
they've been down.
a lot of high scoring offenses, not a lot of defense.
Nope.
So if you get some defense on the field and then also have... a decent enough offense. They've struggled at the quarterback position too. Your running back kind of not. They always was known for some good backs. Because they're going back to Ricky Williams and Cedric Benson and those guys. But then that kind of has dried up a little bit. But I think they're going to be back. I really like Tom Herman and what he can do.
That's a defensive class right there. Defensive back. A couple of old. They went out of state, did a good job getting some California kid from the O-line, Utah kid. They got a Baton Rouge kid right there on a DN. That's nice. I mean, that's what you want to see generally if you're.
As you're building,
Yeah.
you're picking your areas to build, and that's, I think, good for the Orange Blood Nation there in Austin to get back to where they felt like Charlie Strong would take them and just never did.
Never got there.
And that's Penn State, Franklin, another solid recruiting year.
Penn State, man. So much for the death penalty on that. We want to talk about that.
Yeah,
Not even go there.
James Franklin, really mastermind of getting those kids there in the Northeast. It looks like I'm seeing a whole lot of Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New Jersey kids.
Maryland. Like you got to kill the Jersey for Penn State. And
Virginia, those were all really hot recruiting areas. Now, of course, they're in the Big Ten. They could reach out once in a while, maybe to the Illinois, the Ohios, places like that. A lot of, and then, dip down into Florida, hear them a little bit. And obviously they have to replace their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Running back.
Running back, yeah. That's a big hole. That's going to be a committee right there.
It will.
I don't know who's even behind him right now.
I don't either, but it's
not like Penn State. Penn State hasn't been like LSU or the schools have been like Georgia has been churning out back after back. That's they're not like top 2 rounds, but they're just going in the draft. Anyway.
Exactly,
they're going in the draft and they're making noise.
So I mean, it's pretty much just been the same cast of characters at the top. And, I've been glad that Miami keeps sneaking up with the Mark Richt. We had a better class this year than last year. Even with the misses.
I always thought it was like just he seemed like he's always gonna be one of those nice coaches that will win for you. Get you some nice wins, but never get him.
Not win the big one.
Yeah,
like he didn't.
He impressed me with some of these games though this year. I think.
He did. I mean, it would have helped if we would have had a quarterback. It would have helped.
Absolutely.
It really would have helped if, our offensive line in the middle of it. Anybody could say that, though. But, I mean, the injuries, to Mark Walton, the injuries to Amon Richards, 2 big pieces that were down pretty much the entire year. I think.
So how about your class? Do you think there's any freshmen that come in and just make an impact, maybe to actually be that player? Maybe?
Well, I like Lorenzo Lingard is rated one of the highest rated backs, maybe even the highest rated back as far as the recruiting services ever to come in to the University of Miami ever. Higher 5-star, ranked higher than Duke Johnson,
really?
The measurables that they go by. But it's Is he going to turn into Duke? I love what Duke did.
Yeah.
But the fact is, Duke didn't play on some of the better teams, like some of the Willis McGahees, the Clinton Portises, and Jared James not as much. He was when they were coming back out of probation, and he had the giant game against UCLA, kept them from going to the national championship.
Was that Cade McNown on those games?
The Hurricane rescheduled game. It was the last game of the year. It was supposed to be one of the first games of the year, or if not the first game of the year. Yeah. And it got rescheduled to the end and played, and
fine, it was good.
Yeah, Cade McNown, you're right. He had a good game even that game, and that probably got the Chicago Bears to wish they never drafted him.
He's one of those guys. I think that if he'd actually listened,
because
he could play. He could play. He didn't have the strongest arm.
Yeah.
But he could play some ball. He was like a Johnny Manziel before Johnny Manziel, but he was too goddamn stupid and arrogant.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, Kate, if you like our show.
I like him and Mark Pope, the wide receiver. I mean, smooth route runner.
What happened to that kid?
And that he's gonna be good. I think for Miami coming up. I like some of their defensive backs, regardless Sertan. I love Frierson and DJ.
Yeah, you can get Sertan.
But we got some other good. We got Blades.
So is Lingard? Is he an all-purpose back, or is he more of a running back or a receiver?
No, I'd say more like an all-purpose back.
So kind of Reggie Bush, because he's got the 6 foot 5'11", 190, 200 build.
And then we got a little bit more of a battering ram with a 4-star back, Cameron Davis, which is a very solid number 2. But Miami's wide receiver class, the skill position.
Yeah,
really Hightower, Pope, Ezzard, those are all names. Brevin Jordan, a guy two guys you're really going to know. We hit the home run in the tight end, recruiting. Brevin Jordan out of Bishop Gorman.
You guys get back to the old Miami tradition of tight end after tight end.
Will Mallory out of Jacksonville. Those 2 guys are absolute studs. Yeah. Now, if we can get a quarterback, which we flipped the Kentucky commit.
Kept Pope.
Yeah, Jaron Williams. We got him, and it's Nkosi Perry, Jaron Williams going against Rozier next year in competition in the spring to see.
No, it's Rozier. Is he the kid of old Mike Rozier?
No, not even spelled the same.
Okay.
Even the last name.
Okay.
So. He was like kind of almost an afterthought. Al Golden recruit out of Mobile, Alabama, 3-star. Just one of the guys that
stuff.
Yeah. So he's had a decent year. I think he did what he did, but accuracy, footwork, fundamentals are things that Malik Rozier to get to that next level is really gonna have to
get something out of him.
Now, if we're gonna have some good athletes. That's the Williams kid. He's ranked number 8th nationally at dual threat.
Yep.
114th out of every player in the country.
Not bad.
Not bad for a guy that you got at the last minute because our quarterback that we had recruited forever went to this kid out of New Jersey. Had a really good, solid junior year. Went to IMG Academy that we were talking about earlier for his senior year. Ended up getting benched and because of poor play. And Arthur Sitkowski was his name, and he ended up flipping and going to Rutgers. Well, it was pretty much a thing where Miami was like, well, go ahead. And we ended up scooping up this kid at the last second out of Georgia, who was committed to Stoops at Kentucky.
He's got nice footwork, even for a guy like
Army All-American, and everything. So
I haven't had a chance to watch any of this kid. I was watching, I was watching as much as I've seen, and just he's got a tight ball, man, for every throw. Like there's some kids. I don't know how. I guess it's a crapshoot, honestly. Even at the top, when you're ranking these kids,
it is
the top. How many? But the top recruit. I think the top pocket passer. Where I can't remember where the heck he's going, but he did not impress me. I was
the Trevor Lawrence, kid going to Clemson.
Not the tall one, the short one.
Oh, okay.
Where did that go? I'm gonna pull up the quarterbacks real quick here. Let's see here. Dual pro. It's cute. Oh, it was Lawrence is the top. Okay. Daniels.
The kid going to USC. Okay.
Decent arm, but I don't see how you rank him above some of the other kids I was watching.
Well, you better have you would think you'd have a better arm for 6'1", 190, pro style.
Little dude. He's got a nice touch on everything. Everything he throws real nice.
Okay.
That I saw him. I watched quite a bit of him. There's quite a bit of film out there on him, but
I didn't realize that Mississippi getting a kid from California, from Long Beach Poly. That's definitely a big powerhouse out in California. You know.
Isn't that crazy? He went to Miss.
Yeah, went to Ole Miss. That is kind of funny.
And then Tanner McKee kid who.
Well, one of the smart kids if he's going to Stanford, obviously.
He's got a. No, it's a Notre Dame kid. What's his name? He's got a horrible delivery. He's got like a half sidearm delivery. It looks.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's got he's tall, athletic kid, big kid, but his delivery looks. It's almost from the side. It's not a full delivery. It's
got old Jeff George.
A little bit without the zip.
Jeff George had
one of the top cans we've ever seen.
Yeah.
This kid, it's not the same. Let me see. Come on, do the. We broke rivals. Whoops. There we go. So let's see. This Notre Dame kid. The one that really impressed me the most, though, if we want to move on, let me see here. So is this the top? Is this the players again? Yeah, this is. Let's go. Positions. Let's go back to pro. Top 250. Okay, there we go. Maybe the dual threat.
You see Washington landing there. Another quarterback recruit to compete with Easton.
This kid actually, he's actually from Washington. This is actually, do you remember Peter Sermon?
Yeah.
They actually got his son from, was he from Louisiana or something? I don't know why he was going to school there, but Peter Sermon actually, he's actually going to Washington as linebacker.
Oh, okay.
I think he's a three-star. This kid is his nephew.
Oh, okay.
So 2 cousins going to school. It's kind of cool.
So what do you think? I mean, you get a little chance to talk up Washington's class and see what...
I haven't got a chance. Like, the 2 quarterbacks are great. Mm-hmm. The linemen we've got, that's always big. Let's see, where's the dog pound? Let's look at these guys again. So we stole this kid out of Concord, the one who flipped here at the end. Where was he? He was committed to, I think was it USC? He was almost committed to USC, and he flipped on like a day before signing day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to look at him, but he's a big kid. Moves good, which is nice because we've lost. This year we're losing another guy. He's probably going to go top 10.
Yeah.
What's his name?
He's out of De La Salle. That's another
big time
powerhouse.
Big time powerhouse.
And then those Samoan linemen have historically had good for USC. Washington's got in Utah. Yep. BYU. You've had some good players. Maybe that not even didn't make it all the way to the pros, but had good solid careers.
Yeah, big size bodies. And tough kids.
Well, the big Samoan that's going out for he's only a junior this year for Washington that declared for the draft. Right?
What's it? I forgot his name. I'm blanking on his name, but yeah, he's gonna be top 10 at least.
He's gonna be up there.
Yeah, and then we've just had a couple guys. We got Gaines still there, from the defensive line that we've had last 3 years. Mm-hmm. Greg Gaines, big chubby white kid. It's just a block, but we're gonna be young this year on the front on the D-tax, and that's gonna happen.
That's for Miami's. They lost the 2 guys declared that are probably only going to be like fifth round picks.
That is tough, man. That's tough.
We'll be piecing together our defensive tackle position for sure. But we got Nesta Silvera is another name that he was ranked, I believe, the number 2 defensive tackle, and when he was out at the opening in Oregon, just really opened eyes, blowing up people, and stuff. So
the recruiting class or the receiver class is crazy. We've had this guy. I was looking for actually tape on this guy. I haven't found much for game tape, but he wasn't at the. He was on the one-on-one drills. This Marquise Biker, I think it's pronounced. But we got this Trey Lowe kid out of Portland, Oregon, which is awesome because don't want him going to Oregon.
Another quarterback out of Cirque de Leon. Wait, how do you pronounce that again? Cirque de Leon, Idaho. The kid from Idaho.
Cirque de Leon, Idaho.
And then
this kid, he's one of the top mobile. He's a mobile quarterback.
Oh, okay.
This is one I think. He says he's about 6'4". I'd say he's about 6'2".
Okay, yeah.
They do that, but he always a little bit more high time. But he moves surprisingly real good. He moves real good.
Well, I think it's going to be Jacob Eason's water boy. He's going to have to move around sideline,
stay on his feet,
get that water over to him and everything.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I'd probably be surprised if he wasn't the starting quarterback, not next season, but the season after that.
Yeah, never know.
Washington, they were really talking him up on
a lot of 4-star receivers, which is crazy for us.
Yeah, that's
we got the little guys with this big kid here. I mean, it's not something we've seen in a long time, and it's not something we've seen with a proven coach that can actually build on talent.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the Pac-12, it's there for the taking. I mean, USC is kind of Clay Helton, who knows. Oregon's definitely took a big step down. Stanford is kind of leveled out a little bit.
Yeah, they come back down to earth semi, but they play hard.
Yeah,
and they're competitive.
I mean, Bryce Love is going back to school. So he's definitely a stud at the running back position. And that for them, but I mean, it's always solid, but still could be beat, for sure. I mean, they don't have Andrew Luck right now, and stuff like that.
I don't know who their quarterback is this year, but they got that top kid going to him, one of the top prospects. So
I love their coach is just solid,
coach.
And that very good coach. But it's and
there. He plays, and they play in a way. They preach in a way the same type of ball that Alabama does. The pro style, tough. Run the ball. Yeah. To play tough on D. Yeah. And don't turn the ball over.
that's something that's
unfortunately.
And Washington played well in their bowl game, and almost took down Penn State. Yeah. Another good
team. Came back a lot because they were blowing the heck out. They made it a ball game at least because it was an ugly game at first, and Saquon's. I mean, it was number one Russian D versus number one Russian team,
and eventually pretty good.
He showed it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he made some of our kids.
He's going to be up there, as far as the draft.
He deserves to. Yeah. It's been a while since we've had it because Fournette, nice player, but he's not everything. He's not Peterson.
No, I don't think he's any. I mean, but very, very solid.
Very solid
He
back.
could be your
He's
number
your
one guy.
workhorse for sure.
Yeah,
he's not going to have Pearson's explosiveness.
No, I mean he had that hype coming out of high school down in New Orleans down there.
After his freshman year, where he looked like Adrian Peterson.
Going out, I mean, I think he was committed to LSU forever, and then things kind of soured a little bit there, where he didn't even play in their last bowl game. Just skipped it. That was when they first started doing it. Now it's like a norm now on these kids. They
had nothing. They had no offensive line. Was his junior year?
Yeah, that was his junior year.
Yeah, he had no offensive line. They had no quarterback.
Yeah,
they had nothing.
And so he's like,
I'm good. Thanks,
guys. I don't know about my knee.
You're welcome.
And
right.
And that, well, good deal for
Yeah, I mean, it's nice seeing that stuff. Now let's talk about recruits that you're interested in seeing. Ones that maybe went from Miami that you kind of we've already talked on some of them, but who's some you think that are really going to do good?
I think as far as like a guy maybe that doesn't have as much of the hype. All these is some of their offensive linemen. I believe like that Delon Scaife is one of the offensive linemen that they have, and also Cleveland Reed, another offensive lineman. They're both 4-star guys. Miami needs to get tougher along the line. Those guys are guys I think that can at least be in there by maybe even a little bit their freshman year, but definitely by the sophomore year, get a year in the weight room and stuff. A lot of times those guys don't get as much publicity, but that's where it all starts. How's
Miami's weight program looked the last couple of years?
Well, we got a new strength and condition. We had a long time, Andrew Swasey, all the old Miami guys loved
him,
back and
and they stay there and go back there.
They have a new guy that Rick brought on, so this would have been his second, season, and I've heard good things. We never even had a nutritionist or anything there at Miami until Mark Rick came aboard.
Well, Gatorade.
Yeah, exactly. We got the indoor practice facility that'll be finished for the start of this year. We never had that. If it rained or lightning, they had a lightning system that would go off, and they'd have to leave the field for 45 minutes or whatever. So now they actually have an indoor practice facility. Greg Olson just gave a whole bunch of money and finished it out. The donation.
If I had known that, why don't you tell the kids? Those guys down in Oregon, they have a pretty fancy one.
Yeah, they got fancy.
They're like 5.
Yeah, Mario Cristobal, the old kid, doesn't have to worry about facilities down in Oregon. And Miami once, and it's the facilities just would have been horrid, and then as everybody's facilities started getting better, we were behind, and then we started to try to catch up a little bit, and this will really start to get us on par. No, it's not going to be like the stuff like you see at Alabama, the stuff you see at Clemson with the slide and all that type of stuff. Even the stuff you see at Nebraska. I mean, Nebraska has a lot more money in the facilities. Well, it did even going back to the Big 8 days.
Yeah, it's always been there. Yeah, they've always
the
kept
weight
that.
room, the program, and everything there. So. Scott Frost has that, to get into, and unless you got any other Washington guys, we could talk a little bit about Nebraska.
Well, I mean, we could. We need to move on to the Nebraskers and see what.
And that's since we both live in the state of Nebraska, and neither one of us are Nebraska fans. But I'll say that Nebraska, they had a home run basically just fall into their lap, because I'm not going to say they hit a home run because of the fact that. Scott Frost, the pride of Wood River, Nebraska. If he didn't come to Nebraska, that just would have been one of the most epic, probably disappointments in college, especially as far as Nebraska's kind of fallen, and as much as people wanted Riley out, and they wanted Pelini out due to the annex. They wanted Bill Callahan out because he couldn't deliver it, and he tried to change everything.
He tried to change it. Yeah, that was just a culture shock thing. I really thought Riley showed that he, a few times I thought, okay, here finally it's going to come back. Riley's going to do something. He's done that before with smaller programs, or when programs are down. He did that with Oregon State.
He did, but then it's kind of. But he's a 500 kind of career coach.
He is. He's never been able to go without hump.
Yeah,
nice guy and good
had
coach
some
on
big
a lot
wins.
Of things.
Had the Thursday night win at Oregon State over USC. Yeah. Had the upset win with Nebraska over Michigan State.
That was a big, it was a fun game.
And being able to recruit kind of here and there, but just not able to get it all together. So now. Huskers, Frost doing that double duty, coaching Central Florida there at the end to get that undefeated season.
Which was,
also
good on
trying
him.
to pick up the pieces of the recruiting class.
Hey, kids, I'm going there.
Just to get up to 21, I mean, I talk to Nebraska fans all the time here. They say, well, Frost is going to have a pipeline down into Florida now. And obviously, I hope not, being a Miami fan.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's enough players down in Florida where a lot of teams can
and that's always happened. Miami's not. I mean, they're used to teams.
Yeah, obviously, you got Florida State, you got Florida, you got Alabama, the Georgias, everybody.
I listen to motivational speakers, and half of them are from football programs, right? Like half of them are big time college players that wiped out due to injury or whatever like that, and they become. Because of their great work ethic they got, because they came from nothing, and football was the one way to get out of that.
Exactly.
And half of them are from Louisiana or Miami, and you just don't hear about half these guys.
Back in the day with Miami, all the old guys will tell you that the best, some of the best competition they had weren't on the games; it was in practice against the guys that were behind them.
Yep.
And that. So
now
Sean Taylor is not starting, and he's trying to push on that guy up, that's ahead of him, or when they have all the running backs, like Portis,
Portis, McGahee,
and them at the same time, Frank Gore.
Gore was there. Yeah, it was all three of them, and even James was there.
I mean, McGahee played fullback in the game against Nebraska in the 0-1 national championship game. Yeah. When you have a wealth of riches like that, it's pretty good. But I mean, getting back into the Scott Frost thing, it's going to be interesting to see.
It's nice to see him dipping down into California so fast to get this.
They ended up getting that dual threat guy I see out of Fresno. Definitely had a few offers on the table, and I think the fact that the offense that Scott Frost runs,
well, it's what's hot right now.
Appeal to some of that, and it certainly can work in the Big Ten because look at the spread versions that Urban Meyer runs at Ohio State. Very successful. And stuff. But it's and I think from the Nebraska fans I talked to, there's a lot of rope there. They realize that next year Scott Frost isn't coming into Nebraska and saying, well, we're going to continue my undefeated streak from Central Florida. I'm sure he will for a while. They're going to lose some games next year, no matter what.
You think that changes if he actually did come in and win, say, 9-10 games right off the bat?
Well, if he came in and won 10 games, say he got him to the Big Ten champ, that would be now that rope would. But I mean, he's still got a long ways. I mean, he's a Nebraska boy.
I hope so. Yeah, he's the prize.
I could see him being there for maybe the rest of his coaching career. You never know. But that'd be. I mean, just to get Nebraska back to just to get as many years as Bo Pelini even coached. I mean, Pelini had a run there, a good stretch.
Years?
Oh, I think it was even more than that. I'm thinking more like 7.
Yeah, I've been here for a long time. It was a while.
But the annex, the blowouts, and the big games. That's what killed Pelini. He won most of the games that he was supposed to win.
Well, yeah.
But the big games that you wanted him to compete in against the Wisconsins, the Ohio States, though they were the blowout games. That's what Scott Frost said. That's what the Husker Nation want. They don't want that happening. At least, in the future.
Eventually, once you've been there, you have to. Eventually, when you show me you have something, and you're going forward. You have to take that next step and get those wins.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure what type of schedule Nebraska has next year. Somebody told me it was the Big Ten part is brutal next year for them.
They have Wisconsin. Yeah,
they play like Ohio State, Penn State, and Wisconsin. Wisconsin's on their side.
Wisconsin's
of
one of the
division.
first games.
Yeah, and then but I think they play both Penn State and Ohio State from the East.
Yeah,
which that's tough and then Iowa's always going to be solid. They're going to give Nebraska trouble in certain years no matter what because Kirk Ferentz just does that. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what Scott Frost develops Nebraska into. It'd be interesting to see a quick fire offense because the pro style offense didn't work out under Callahan.
And then also again under
the West Coast offense really didn't work under Riley. Everyone still remembers the old power eye and the option days. But since then the identity, the Pelini identity was
it was supposed to be defense and tough man football.
And that got confusing.
It never was.
Well, it never really had an offensive identity. I think he definitely had a defensive identity for a while. And then that even started to erode. But I think that after getting to watch Frost coach at Central Florida and hearing about him when he was an assistant at Oregon, before that, I think that Nebraska kind of has a feel for who they know,
what they're going to do.
He is before he even starts, doing that, my coaching of their first game for him.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's it's a storybook.
It is.
Beginning right now. So that's our school, the schools that we're talking about. Are there any prospects you like? I'm gonna say right now that Harbaugh, Michigan, they had a down year.
Yeah,
they had a down year, and and there are different reasons for that. But this kid they got, where the heck's he at? Where's the prospects we were looking at? Did I already lose it? Let's see here, pro. Let's go to the dual quarterback class here, because they don't. I look about 15 of the top kids.
Mm-hmm.
And where is it? Big kid. He's way down. Number 200, Joe Milton, out of Florida, Orlando. Well, it says Orlando, Florida, Olympia.
Okay, up there.
Have you seen anything on this kid?
No, I haven't seen too much of him, to tell you the truth. I've heard of him, obviously, and everything, but I haven't seen really too much film on him.
Big kid. This is the perfect guy for Harbaugh to have, man. Arm, amazing touch on his arm.
Okay.
He looks great. When you get a chance, watch him.
I will.
Check him out, because out of everyone that once again, I go into this. I'm a football fan.
Yeah.
So I don't, Huskies. We're gonna, whatever happens for me right now. I'm not too. This is the year right now.
Yeah.
But so you look around and see the prospects are, and you get excited about him. This kid looks amazing.
Okay.
Especially ranked back as he was.
Well, it should be a good battle, because they did get the guy from Ole Miss that's transferring there. I think he'll sit out next year. But obviously, a lot of times, this kid would probably have to redshirt anyway, so them two will be going head-to-head in practice. Yep. That should be good. But you're right, Harbaugh definitely needs to get a quarterback in there. A quarterback needs to find a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have that problem at Stanford as much.
He has not had a problem with it except for Michigan.
Yeah.
Yep. But you're watching this kid. He puts him on stride. He's impressive. We watch him play.
That's what.
And for him to be ranked this far back as a big kid that's dual threat. I mean,
thread in the needle there.
You see that? Yeah. He's poised right
against good. I like to say good Florida competition there. I'm not. I know a few of the high schools around Orlando, Olympia.
See how he stopped and reset?
And then
drops it right in there.
Right on the money, something that Malik Rozier for Miami's quarterback last year couldn't
come close to.
Commit. I mean, there was times that Jeff Thomas, that kid, would get wide open and he just could not connect.
In there, nice and easy.
Or he would connect with him, but it was so underthrown he'd get tackled. He wouldn't. It should be a touchdown.
Not in stride at all. Yeah,
very proud. I'll have to watch some film. On this kid.
Everything, even the ones that are lobbed in there, right ahead, leading the kid. Look at that, off one leg.
Yeah,
zips
very
it.
Nice. So this is your choice for just any.
I think this kid with Harbaugh.
Yeah,
this kid could be your top pick in the next 3 years.
I'm still gonna go. I mean, not to be biased, but I'm still gonna go with a Miami guy. I'm gonna go with Brevin Jordan, the tight end that they got out of Vegas.
I'm gonna have to watch this kid.
This kid has.
There was one on the one-on-one drills I was watching. It's a tight end. It looked like it was a receiver that was tearing things up.
You'll have to watch Brevin Jordan out of Bishop Gorman, a great high school program, obviously. Yeah. And the fact that he goes to Miami, who looks to utilize the tight end. A lot of the places don't utilize the tight end,
Yeah,
Florida State, doesn't matter how good of a tight end could go to Florida State.
Yeah.
When they were under Jimbo Fisher, they weren't going to utilize the tight end as a receiving threat.
Yeah, they make him into a receiver.
And Miami is just going to put an exclamation point on that so much. I mean, I think that this guy really could be a 3-year guy and be gone.
Be one of those like the classic Miami tight ends we had in the 2000s.
Exactly.
That'd be nice to see again, because those kids were fun to watch.
Yeah,
it was fun to watch on Sunday.
Even
Shockley.
Going back to Bubba Franks. The first one went to Green Bay.
He went to Green Bay, and he was a great athlete. Never really. I mean, he's always a reliable target.
Just all this Jeremy Shockey and all the guys.
Winslow Jr.
Yeah, just a ton of
anyone who
Greg Olson, a ton of tight end talent. Jimmy Graham.
Anyone who put on a tight end
has succeeded. We've had a lot of success stories. Christopher Herndon could be a sleeper in the draft. He got hurt. I don't know about the knee. Hurt his knee there towards the end of the year. But as a guy that they think is still going to get drafted around at least around the 6th round, you know, and stuff. He's out of Georgia.
Maybe somebody Seahawks can look for, because who knows? A lot of guys are saying that team's getting blown up.
Well,
a lot of people are saying the Seahawks defense is getting blown up.
Getting old, old.
Complacent.
The Shermans, the Bennetts,
Bennett,
guy.
Even if Chancellor is cleared, he
Yeah.
might be gone. Earl most likely is getting dealt.
Yeah. They can get more of an asset for him. The rest of those guys are old and
older.
coming off of
Injuries like
Sherman,
Yep.
Chancellor. They could have had some assets trading for him,
Yeah.
but the injuries is going to totally probably eliminate that. They're going to
exactly
wait for him to just release him.
Release him.
Earl, you might be able to get.
Earl, you can still get something.
Something.
He's still. He's
hoping
still
to get at
played
least a 3rd round pick.
Yeah,
for
you would
him,
hope so. Or a couple of 4ths or something.
Something.
He's
if you're going to lose him anyway,
Yeah, amazing talent. He's still got another year on his contract right now. He's going to want top end money. An amazing talent. Played great for us, but. I'd love to see someone Ed Reed for us. I'd love to see someone go in there, just dominate and be a Hall of Famer and not, like Reed or easily. But
my favorite Hurricane ever.
Yeah, Baltimore. But they just that's the way it is. That's the ball game.
Yep.
There's another kid. Like I told you, that wide receiver who's going to LSU. We don't know if he's ever to see his game because But watching those one-on-one drills, man, 6'5", 6'4", whatever. Slender, thick legs, athletic, thick legs, slender up top. But some of the stronger, bigger backs I saw him going against, no one pushed him around. He just wiggle around him, just fast and smooth. Stop on a dime, turn on a dime, just lightning quick and burnt. No one controlled him. He beat him every time.
Yeah, that could be definitely another one. If LSU can get the quarterback to
Terrence Marshall Jr.
Terrence Marshall at the could be the next. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, type of wide receiver to come out of LSU.
I mean, it's not like he's he's not. People have heard of him. He's a 5-star. So he's right up there. But man, he's something else. And there's that kid from Oklahoma, that cornerback who's something else. I think.
And so that if I had maybe pick I watched some film on the kid from California that was going to Nebraska out of Fresno.
I need to watch him.
And
I couldn't find
his game. Really seemed to model obviously because the Tootle just got Frost. I'd say that'd be my number 2 guy, just off the wall, throwing out there to watch down the road.
Interesting.
See in 2 years if that name pops up.
If it works out for him and Frost.
But we've hit recruiting pretty good though.
I think so.
In exact science, certainly.
Yeah, right.
But we'll see how these classes. You gotta just keep molding and keep.
That's
to get as high as you can.
These kids, they're kids, man. Like even more than coming into the pro. Like even going to their rookie year, they're still kids. These are right now they're still going to mature. Their minds are going to change. Their minds are going to mature, and their bodies are going to change. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how these kids develop.
And then if you can keep them there, too, because if they try to get harder to get depth nowadays unless you're really, really ranking up their high.
It doesn't work out. They go someplace else.
Kids leave. They transfer, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast we're dealing with nowadays. I mean,
it is. It is.
That was a good show, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I believe it was a good show, and we'll have to, catch you guys here again in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We'll see what's on the agenda. Maybe some basketball. So starting getting into some March Madness
coming up.
Stuff. I know my Hurricanes are really struggling. Hopefully, in 2 weeks we'll pick up a few more basketball wins because we're struggling.
Miami doesn't have a program, don't we?
So
who knows the Huskies are? I don't know. They're up and down right now. So
we'll see. Maybe some some
NBA
there, stuff. It'll be the baseball hot stove. It was a lukewarm stove, and then my Cubbies got Yu Darvish, so we brought Hope into the rotation.
Is there still a team in Chicago? I don't know.
That vaulted him again.
We haven't discussed our baseball. I'm obviously from Washington. You're obviously, I don't even know. You're just a horror pair.
Yeah, the Cubs. So I'm a Cubs fan.
Yeah,
and that. So
Chicago guy here.
We could maybe talk a little baseball.
Yeah, a little baseball. That's gonna be you carrying that one because sorry, buddy. Mariners don't exactly have the tradition. Well, we got some Edgar who did he get denied this year? He did. He did not get in
for the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Edgar got denied, which it's hard for DHs, but still.
Yeah, it is.
But still.
Yeah, very. I mean,
one of the most amazing hitters of all time.
Well, definitely a craft hitter and everything. So, we'll go over that and hope you guys have a good rest of the start of your week here. And
thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in.